A funeral was held today for former Lieutenant Governor and TV journalist David Onley. Matt INGRAM has more on his legacy.
Arriving for his brother's funeral, Richard Onley says David inspired so many.
I remember talking with one chap who just said, "You changed the trajectory of my whole life," and that's really heartening. David used the position to do good, to lead an example, and we hope that others follow that way.
A sentiment shared by his uncle Robert.
There's so many good stories, you know, you can't find anything really bad about them.
And it wasn't just family, of course. All morning there was a slow trickle of friends and acquaintances arriving and sharing a memory of David as they passed.
A beautiful day today in Metro Toronto.
He left a mark on many from his years as a reporter with City TV in Toronto and as Ontario's 28th Lieutenant Governor. John Wright went to University of Toronto Scarborough with Onley, where the former TV reporter started the first campus radio station.
He was a very genuine, humble, affable, but a courageously affirmative person in making sure that there was accessibility for people.
TVO journalist Steve Paikin met him when the two were beginning their broadcast careers.
72 is way too young. He made some great contributions to this province. He was a great champion for people with disabilities, and I wanted to come and pay my respects to him today because he deserves it.
Remembering a deep sense of humor.
He was a hard worker, and he always thought of other people first.
There was always a lot of documents for him to sign, and he would say, "Radar, what am I signing here?" And it was an ongoing joke.
There should be more David Onleys in this world, and he had an amazing twinkle.
A chorus of dignitaries also sang his praises as they entered the church.
He spoke to me a lot about kids and growing up in Ontario. To feel everyone would be welcome. And I'll miss our conversations.
He obviously had trials in his life, you know? I mean, getting polio when he was 3 years old and feeling excluded from so much of what other kids were included in. I think that kind of formed him and informed his life's work.
He always fought for people with disabilities, and that was one of his legacies, and we're just here to honor a great person, a great man.
His successor, Elizabeth Dodswell, says David loved being Lieutenant Governor.
And he did his very best to make sure that he used the platform, particularly for those who suffer from various disabilities.
Police and military escorted David's coffin to the York Minster Park Baptist Church for the service. His 3 sons walking behind the hearse, and his wife Ruth Ann following with other family. Inside, his boys paid tribute to their dad.
My dad, who taught me how to throw a curveball, shaped my world as he has done for so many of you here today. And he did it while supported by a cane, or while in a scooter.
If Dad can do what he's done as a disabled man, what can I do as a fully able-bodied man? Dad, you have fought the good fight. You have finished the race. You have kept the faith.